What's up, El Paso? Welcome back to this week's episode of Annie's Adventures and Friends. I have some awesome events that I want to tell you about, so let me go on and flip this camera around and introduce you to everybody. So 1 second. There you are. What's up, Vincent?
Hello.
How you doing today?
I woke up and everything else is extra.
Yes, sir. I love it so much. Thank you so much. And you're with Hardin's Music Saloon. We're going to go on and dive into that right now. Thank you again.
Thank me again?
No, I'm thanking you.
Oh, you want me to explain what Hardin Music Saloon is?
Right now, when we get around, we're going to go on and dive into it, all
Great.
right? All right. Thank you so much. We have Gustavo and Eric.
Buzz, and
What?
Eric.
And you guys are with Chuco Town Comedy. You guys have an awesome comedy, well, it's Chuco Town Comedy Festival, and that's coming up. It's happening like in a couple
2.5 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're getting pretty close.
Really close. I can't wait to learn more about it. Thank you guys so much for coming in today.
Thank you for inviting us. Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, I have Laurie and Kristi over here. How are you guys doing today?
Good, thanks. Very excited to be here, and we have a wonderful International Day of Peace event on the same day as the Comedy Festival. The vibes in El Paso that day are going to be so hot.
Excellent. Yes, and we want everybody to support both. So we're going to go on and get started. As you guys know, I do work at a marketing agency. El Paso, if you need any marketing, reach out to me. I'd love to help you elevate your marketing to the next level. Or with Annie's Adventures, I can help you. But we're gonna go on and individually deep dive into every business, and then tell me the type of marketing you do, and if you have any tips or advice for business owners or event organizers out there. Okay? All right. Started with these lovely ladies over here. All right, take it away, Miss Laurie.
Well, thank you. This is the second time I've been on sharing about our nonprofit, Unity Through Creativity Foundation, that is based on the belief that creativity and collaboration are a birthright for everyone on this planet.
Yes, ma'am.
And we bring people together using our creativity. And this is one of our Singing Tree murals that is to celebrate El Paso as an international city of peace.
Okay.
On September 11th, 2023, the county commissioners passed a resolution joining 400 other cities around the world who are dedicating themselves to a culture of peace. And this year, the city council is also going to identify El Paso as a city of peace.
Oh, awesome.
And we wrote a resolution with a whole bunch of people in the city, and I'd love to read just a few words from it. And we are, the purpose of our symposium on September 21st is to help make the words reality. Words are easier than actions, and words guide us. And these words make me really happy. The International City of Peace and its volunteers support communities around the world through nurturing sustainable practices, providing a focus on love, abundance, resilience, and peace, bringing together government, law enforcement, business, education, health, scientific, and community organizations. With humility and openness, we learn together how to create a true multiracial, multi-religious, multi-class, multicultural democracy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
So we're bringing together 160 people at this symposium at UTEP from many, many sectors. And we're going to have a day-long deep dive into peace with the earth, peace with each other, and peace within. And we have this right here. Peace within, peace with each other, peace with the earth. And last year we also celebrated peace with the universe.
Okay.
So it's all connected, and we have a planning committee of about 15 people with all the Interfaith Alliance, with UTEP's Sociology Department, Dance Department, the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, and the Centennial Museum, who's one of our sponsors. The Casa Auto Group is our major sponsor, and there's Zaragoza Rotary also is a sponsor.
Okay.
I want to shout out to them for helping us out.
Perfect.
We want to make this a very participatory day. It's not sitting and listening to people talk at you. We're going to have national speakers from each of these realms of peace within, peace with each other, and peace with the earth. Then we're going to have a panel of local people, how they're doing this beautiful work. And then we're going to have round tables where There'll be 8 people at a table, and everyone will get to talk about what they're doing and what their hopes are. And we are going to bring all these ideas together and make a report to give to City Council and the commissioners and the newspapers to say, here are some beautiful practices that are already happening in our city. Let's up it, because there's too much violence. There's too much needless suffering. And we need to practice. It's a skill. Peace literacy is a skill like reading, and we need to help each other practice it. And one of the things that we've been very aware of is to make this as inclusive as possible. And we've very happily connected with Kristi, who works with ADAPT, to expand our awareness of how to just make sure everyone can come. And Kristi, could you talk a little bit about what we're doing in that realm?
So I'm Kristi Ladd, and I'm part of an El Paso chapter called Desert Adapt, which is part of a national group called National Adapt.
Okay.
And so we advocate for people with disabilities to be in community. And so that's how I was asked to help organize the accessibility part of this event. So we want to make sure that it's not just physically accessible, but also people have a sense of belonging. So for that, we are making sure that we have available for those who may need it, ASL interpretation. We're making sure that we have interpreters for Spanish speakers. We are also aware that we have, some disability community, whether it be disabled veterans or people that are neurodivergent that might need a quiet space to take a moment. We're gonna be able to have a quiet room as well. So overall, I'm really happy because this has been a great event to help organize, because everybody in the committee has been so receptive to any input I've had on these things. And it's kind of hard sometimes when you're doing this, you feel like the squeaky wheel. We're like, we need to do this or we need to do that. And it's been really great to work with people who are very open and really truly wanting everyone to feel like they're belonging.
That's beautiful.
It's been great.
I love it.
Yeah.
Young people are encouraged to come, high school and up.
Okay.
And we're on the UTEP campus, and we still need some more volunteers. We're going to take notes for each of the 3 roundtables, and so that we can prepare this report. So we need some more people who will come and scribe. It's a free event, and lunch is offered for free as well.
Oh, nice.
And we're going to be working on the 140th Singing Tree mural. It's called the Vitex Singing Tree of Healing Relationship with Self, Others, Earth, and the Divine. And the Vitex tree is this amazing tree that I never met till I came to El Paso. It's a healing tree for women's menstrual cramps and menopausal symptoms, and it has these beautiful purple blossoms. So we're preparing the background, and at the event people will be adding their imagery about their dreams of peace and the work that they're doing for peace.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so these events, this is where you create these different murals that I've seen. Okay. And because when I was at the El Paso Fine Art Festival where I met you, you guys had a singing tree there as well.
Yes.
And okay, that's awesome. So now I fully understand, like, each of these events is where you can come together and everybody's able to participate and build those.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very cool. I love it. So again, this is happening on the 21st, September 21st.
Yes,
it's free.
it's free.
Free 99. Take the whole family, high school and up.
High school and up, and it's from 9 until 5.
Perfect.
The registration is going to open at 8.
Okay.
And then we're going to have a parade at the end and have a dance around Centennial Plaza.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so it's not just sitting and listening, it's highly engaging. There'll be dance breaks and meditation.
Yeah.
And we're very excited.
So a day of peace, a day of unity there on UTEP. I'm not sure. I'm just thinking of all these people. I'm going to talk to you after and suggest some ideas I have for maybe vendors or something like that. But very cool. Did we catch everything? Did we miss anything?
You can register. You need to register
Okay.
because we want to prepare the lunches. Make
Absolutely.
Sure everyone has food. And if you go to unitythroughcreativity.org's website and go to events, it'll lead you to where to register. And then the whole schedule is there as well.
Okay, and I highly encourage go to Unity Through Creativity on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
Give them a follow so that way you guys can keep up with all their different upcoming events that they have and more information on this upcoming International Day of Peace.
Yay.
Yes?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies.
Yes.
I appreciate you. All right, fellas.
Are we supposed to be on this one? Is this the right room? Dave, I think we may have to reschedule the roast battle. I didn't know we put it on Day of Peace.
Competition. That's awesome.
Well, hey, I'm Aaron. This is Gus, and we are producing El Paso's very first comedy festival.
Very cool.
Yeah, comedy is not new to El Paso. As we all know, there's been a very successful comedy club here with the Comic Strip. We've got tons of great acts who have come through this area over the last few decades, but there's never been a dedicated comedy festival until this month. So September 20th and 21st, it's a festival that's taking place in downtown El Paso across a few city blocks with some of our best partners that we've worked with previously.
Okay.
Bars like Craft and Social, The Garrison, Mona, Rosewood,
Bang Bang.
La Bang Bang, a brand new venue.
Brand new.
Yeah, the wings are exceptional.
I love
Canopy.
Yeah, they're great to work with, and they're stoked to be a part of it as well. And so we're looking at 30 shows, something like 50 comics, spread out over 2 days. It is not free 99. You are going to have to buy a ticket. We've got some big promos and deals. You mentioned marketing. We're doing all kinds of stuff for that. We obviously, myself and Gus came up with this website.
Yeah, I love it. It looks like
Tons
a
of
festival
information.
flyer.
Yeah.
What's the lineup?
It's all these comics. I'm sure they're all big names eventually. No, we believe in them.
They're very talented.
No, we do. We have some fantastic.
Well, and you guys told me it's a mix of local comics along with other comics that from all around that you pulled through.
Yes.
You guys
Yeah.
had like a good registration period, so you guys got a lot of people who wanted to participate,
Yes.
and so this is a makeup of them all.
Correct. And I was told not to use the term local. It's grassroots.
Oh, my bad.
And then I told that person we don't have grass in El Paso.
What does that mean?
But no, I mean, yeah.
Sand roots.
Andrew, we'll do the top line here. But Andrew Youngblood just got off tour with Mark Normand across the country. He's a fantastic comic.
Wow.
Released his first special just recently this year.
That's right.
Very
Enrique
cool,
Chacon, amazing comic from Austin, Texas, originally from El Salvador.
Okay.
But he's a golden ticket winner on Kill Tony.
Wow.
He's a regular at the Comedy Mothership, which is the Joe Rogan comedy club that everyone's reading about.
Okay.
And then Irma Ruiz is fantastic. She's from San Antonio now, but she also does two of the best like concept shows I've ever seen. So she does Teachers Gone Bad, which is a comedy show specifically for teachers and those who work in education. It's a very adult-themed show.
Vincent's like, how do I find this?
We will have to get you in the next one.
Maybe. I don't know. I like being an adult.
Yeah, fair enough. And then for the other show she's actually doing here at the festival is called Chingona Comedy.
Oh,
So
cool.
the whole lineup is just badass Latino ladies, and it's going to be a super fun show. And then, like I said, we've got tons of comics from the El Paso area, from New Mexico, from South Texas, San Antonio, all over, and we are thrilled to have them on. I really do feel like we've got something for everyone. We're going to have traditional showcases. We're going to have contests. We're going to have a show that I like to do called No Mames Comedy.
Called what?
No Mames.
Oh, I love it.
Basically, you have a paddle in the crowd. If you like the comic, give them a C-way. You don't, no mames. 3 no mames, you're out. You're done.
Oh man, that sounds fun.
So it's a take on like a traditional gong show.
I was about to say,
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
So got some surprises in it, but yeah, we're really stoked to bring this to life. This has nothing been quite like it here in El Paso, and so it's our first year. We are kind of open to whatever surprises are down the road in the next couple of weeks, but yeah, we are still looking for sponsors. We've got some great sponsors right now with, of course, all of our venues. KLAQ will be doing some promotion, and they're doing some stuff with us as well. New York Deli, if you haven't been downtown, it's fantastic.
Chuco Rum.
Yeah, Choco Rum it's a liquor brand that focuses entirely on comedy.
Oh,
and producing comedy
really?
shows and growing
That's
it.
awesome.
It's so good. We're in talks with a beer sponsor right now. I can't really release, but yeah, Melting Pot is on board as well. So we're still looking for folks that want to, get their name out and be part of a historical event. This is the first thing that's happening in El Paso. We want to make sure it's here for many years to come.
Can you scroll the other way for me?
This way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
There you go.
Yeah,
So
there
you're
you go.
gonna have stand-up, podcasts, workshops, improv, and parties.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
So,
Well,
stand-up
podcasts.
season.
So we got three great podcasts coming in and doing like a live taping. We got the Takeover Show, which has been a really hot, poppin' El Paso-based interview podcast, and then we have the Buzz
Monroe.
Adams.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Buzz
Earl
Adams.
Monroe, Buzz Adams with Nico Adjibian, and these are going to be taping live at the festival with comedian guests. And then workshops, we're going to have a very dedicated workshops like every day during the festival, doing like from improv, comedy, writing, and
Writing. Yeah, we're actually looking at doing one on marketing, basically, like growing your following through social media.
Sure.
Yeah, one of the things I do outside of this, I actually run a ticketing website. So it's called Massive Ticks, and I could probably relate to this. Eventbrite just continues to get more and more expensive and egregious with their fees. And thankfully, through my previous employment, I have experience in Shopify and some e-com. And I launched a ticketing website for my shows I was producing, and then another comic jumped on, and another one.
Dude,
and
that's
it turned
awesome.
into this little business that's taken over my life. So,
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, we are doing all the tickets through that, and so whether it's using platforms like that, using the skills that you have outside of comedy to help you grow in comedy, we plan on doing some workshops like that.
Very
as well.
cool. I love that.
Yeah.
And parties?
And parties.
Oh
and
yeah,
Parties.
the parties. I mean, very essential because we do want to elevate our comics, and parties are very essential to like these kinds of festivals because this is where like the networking happens.
Sure.
You grow your careers, and you just have fun and talk to other festival goers.
And comedians love intoxicants. It turns out. Not all, but most. So yeah, it's gonna be great. We are doing I don't know when this airs, but at least for this week we are doing a 2-for-1 ticket special for our classes.
Hopefully I get this up by sometime tonight. It does take a minute, but
yeah.
So tell me about that
perfect.
then.
Yeah. So we'll if you go to massivetix.com, you're gonna see it on the front page.
Massive Ticks?
TIX. Yeah.
Okay.
And you will see it on the front page. Go in. We have 2 different passes. We have a Fest Pass, which lets you into what we call our satellite shows. So that's all your smaller shows. And you get to pick one of the 3 headliner shows that you'd like to attend. And then we also have an All Access Pass. Do we have a picture here? Yeah. All Access Pass will get you into every single show. So all 3 headliners plus all the satellite shows.
It's like less than $1 to see every comic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a buffet of like
It really is.
anything you want to see, anything you can catch or get into, you can enjoy it.
And if you spent all day at the Festival of Peace and you're tired, but you only want to see one show, you can most certainly buy a ticket to one of the headliner shows or at the door at any of the satellite shows if they have capacity.
And so just to nutshell it, we got a 2-day event. Okay, and it's happening within 5 different venues, and they're all within walking distance.
Yeah, 6 different venues.
6 venues.
Distance,
Okay,
throughout
6
the whole
venues,
day.
all walking distance downtown. This is the thing you want to do. I know there's so many, people who love comedy out there. El Paso, they go to the comic strip. They go to the other comic, what is it? Comics and Waffles. Chuckles, yes, that just opened. So this is for you. Get the tickets ASAP. There's even a discount if you go. There is. Limited time only, 2-for-1. What the heck? It gets even like better. That's insane. Like, because already these prices are ridiculous. Like, it's amazing. $40.
60, 20. It's really easy.
Couldn't beat it with a stick.
Yeah, exactly. We want as many people coming to enjoy this as possible first
This
year.
is awesome. I
Next
love
year
it.
we're jacking.
Either go to the comedy festival or you go to the Eagles.
Silly. I've seen Miss Laurie over there
That's
drawing. I
our
love
whole
it.
festival. Our main goal was to literally grow the community here, grow the
Yes.
attendance, grow the amount of comedians. We want to be another spot in Texas now.
Yes.
Texas is the comedy state of the
Well,
world.
and I love that. So, and it kind of goes what we're going to get into right now with Vincent, but all the comics, all the musicians should be playing here in El Paso. It just should be happening. We are a major city, and we're on the major road highway in order to get to any other major city that you're already playing at. So why wouldn't you just stop and play here and make more money? Because that's what you guys like to do, right? I'm just saying. I'm just thinking of some of these bands that come through that we don't get to get a piece of.
I'd like to see
We'll
12
talk
pages
about it
worth
there.
of data backing that up.
We're about to talk about that right now. So again, if you guys want these events happening here, you have to go out and support that. So again, where do they go buy their tickets?
They can go to chucotowncomedy.com. All the information is on there, along with the link,
Oh, yeah.
or they can go directly to massivetix.com.
Click the ticket link right here, and boom, it's gonna take you to Massive Ticks.
Boom.
Yeah, look at that.
I love it.
Yo,
Wow,
tickets.
they're so massive.
And how do they follow you on social media?
At Chuco Town Comedy
A lot of tabs.
on Instagram.
Chuco Town Comedy.
It is a lot of tabs. I'm out of
Facebook.
yeah, at Massive Tix.
At
it's
Chuco
also
Town
on
Comedy,
Instagram.
was it?
Yeah, both of those.
Okay.
And then at Guz Buzz.
Oh yeah, Gus Buzz does on social media for me, and at Aaron Barber.
AaronBarber.us.
I love it. I love it. Did we cover everything, guys?
Think so, yeah.
Yeah? We got it all?
Yeah.
All right.
More sponsors, please. Come on.
Yes. Reach out to them. Tell them I sent you. And get those tickets ASAP. Take a date. Take your family. You're going to want to check this out. And it's happening one weekend only. It's happening in 2 weeks. You got to get it. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Real quick, ladies, because I didn't catch it. What type of marketing are you doing? And do you have any tips or advice for organizations out there?
We look at marketing as a mycelium network. The
Mm.
mycelium network
Ooh.
is the biggest network on the planet, right? And we connect to each other, so we're always reaching out who's in your network, who's in my network, and we're bringing together many, many networks. So we reach out individually, we do Instagram and Facebook. We have an amazing web person and designer named Lily Lopez, who is coming from California for the International Day of Peace.
Okay.
She makes everything she touches beautiful. And so we use beauty as a way to attract as well.
Okay. Perfect. I love it. And do you have any tips or advice for nonprofits, event planners out there?
Talk to people.
Yes.
Be kind.
God, I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you, guys.
Make your events inclusive and accessible.
Ding, 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 ding. All right.
Also in your social media.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just let everybody know, right?
Websites and stuff like the
Well-
ADA symbol.
Well, no, actually, one interesting thing with social media. So I learned this from my friends from a friend who is blind. That if sometimes you know, people post things, and you might you go this, right, and you post like some kind of a thing. Well, Facebook doesn't automatically describe things, so they might just see this, and then their screen reader will say image. So if you have your event and you're posting all your info for your event and you don't use alt text, or you don't put the actual information on the actual text part of your posts, anybody with visual impairment or that's blind that uses a screen reader won't even know about your event.
You
So
can
that's
find that in the
important.
settings on Instagram. So when you actually edit your post, your photo, you can find your alt text in there.
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
And on like Squarespace, Wix,
Yes.
like when you make websites, yeah, that's how we did this.
it's not just helpful; it's the law.
I
Yeah,
love
it's
it.
That's true. That's true. But a lot of people don't. And also, QR codes are great.
Yeah.
You know, when you make posters, if you put a QR code towards the bottom, people can just scan it and go. Not only is it great because they can go to your event, they get your social media, they get more info from that little code than just the visual. So that's important.
I love it.
And we put QR codes and everything.
We did.
And we were going to do it anyway, but Kristi helped us get it on there.
Make sure it's done. I love it. Thank you, guys. All right.
Hi.
Mr. Vincent.
Good luck in Japan, Rob. As a reference to the movie Cloverfield. It's a long story. Anyway, I'm glad you brought up the Gong Show, because I'm actually 66. I just drink a lot of water. But I love the Gong Show. The Gong with Chuck Barris. He claimed that he was a CIA assassin. Okay, do you remember the Gong Show?
I do.
The Gong Show is awesome. Anyway, hi, I'm Vincent. I'm the Minister of Rock and Roll. I run Hardin's Music Saloon, which is an organization that is dedicated to bringing every single live performance possible on Earth to El Paso eventually. The goal is to have at least one concert starting in January of 2025 every month until I'm dead, and more.
And you're 60. You said.
I'm 66. I just turned 66 on July 23rd, right? I graduated in 1976. It was great. I got to see Peter Frampton at the Coliseum in February of '77. It was great. But
You're so silly.
but the thing I'm doing is, in a nutshell, like we said earlier, there's not, as everyone has noticed, there are not enough concerts in El Paso, and I've been saying this for what feels like 15 years. That I always think, why do bands play in Tucson or in Albuquerque or in Dallas and not here? And the long and short of it is that not enough people are trying. We have great people in like Lowbrow and Speaking Rock and the Rock House, but there's this data, this book that I've created over the last year. We have approximately 60 live events per year, and there's 2.7 million people in this market. If you combine El Paso, Juarez, Las Cruces, it's one demographic because people from Juarez come over here, people from here go get their dentistry in Juarez. And
I'm going to Juarez tomorrow for the doctor.
There you go. I haven't been there in 20 years, so I need to visit it one of these days. But actually I went there by accident 5 years ago, but that's a long story. Anyway, people go to NMSU for school, people come here for UTEP for school. It's one community. Like people, we have this weird misconception that El Paso is like a small town, and it's not. There's 2.7 million people here. That's bigger than Pittsburgh, and Salt Lake City, and Cincinnati, and Indianapolis, and Las Vegas, and Austin, and Buffalo, and Tucson, and Albuquerque, and
all the places that get these big bands.
Right. Buffalo, New York gets an average of 350 live events a year.
And we get 60?
We get an average of 60.
Oh my goodness.
And Buffalo, New York has 1.6 million people in the metropolitan area, and that includes across the border in Toronto, in Niagara Falls. And the basic idea is that there's like the weird brain drain in El Paso where people move away when they're really young and then they come back when their parents are getting sick and they need to come back and take care of them. People say like, oh, I moved back to El Paso when I was 50 and you know what? I really missed it. And it's like, where were you when you could have like put money into the economy and done good things? You moved away when you were 21, you came back when you were 50. I think that one of the things, if we really focus on quality of life, it'll help that. Whenever people say, well, El Paso doesn't have this, El Paso doesn't have that, you are part of the problem. If you say you don't deserve something, then you don't deserve something. So basically, I realized after going to Tucson and Albuquerque and for all these concerts over the years, I was like, I never want to have to travel for a concert ever again. I want to travel for stuff, but I never was like, oh, I have to go to LA to see Electric Light Orchestra. Yeah. You know what? Like, and people say like, well, they'll never play here. It's like, why not? Everyone should play here. We're a major city. Like everybody played here. It's like Eric Clapton sang to his newlywed wife here in May of 1977 at the Coliseum. He wrote Wonderful Tonight for Patty Boyd, and he got married to her in Tucson the night before. And the following night, at the height of his career, he sang that song for her on stage in El Paso. And this is not a place where it's like, oh, we're going to get those artists, but we won't get those artists. And there's a whole lot of factors. But the reason I'm here is because Hardin's Music Saloon did its pilot show last November in Las Cruces. We brought Wishbone Ash, which was a wonderful rock and roll band from the 70s, the very first band to have 2 lead guitarists, and then like Thin Lizzy and Iron Maiden took that idea and ran with it. And they hadn't played here in 50 years! They play in Tucson every other year. They hadn't played here in 50 years. That's insane. And I asked their management, when was the last time someone like tried to get you to play El Paso? And their manager said, well, I've only been their manager for 50 years. Sorry, I've only been their manager for 30 years, but no one's ever asked us to play El Paso.
Wow. So no one's reaching out.
Well, not no one, but like there's not enough. Like Buffalo, New York has like 7 or 8 venues where people are playing. We have like 2 or 3 max. But the whole goal of this is we're modeled off to the Rialto Theater Foundation, which brings 300 events to the Rialto Theater in Tucson every year. We've also had input by Camarada del Sol, which is the nonprofit chamber music ensemble in Las Cruces, and they have 24 events every year for free. Chamber music, bringing chamber music to the community. And basically Hardin's Music Saloon is applying for nonprofit status, and our goal is to make sure that we are, because we're not out of the way, we're on I-10, like you said. So like the other night, Kings of Leon were here on a day off. They were downtown. The Black Keys were here on a day off downtown. Jared Leto from 30 Seconds to Mars was here a few days ago on a day off between 2 cities. Vampire Weekend was here on a day off between 2 cities. Like all these bands are coming through here anyway. They're not playing here because no one's asking them to. And whenever we have like a big tour that's being routed, a manager from LA or New York is making this tour, they'll say like, oh, I think they don't realize that El Paso is a real place. I think they think El Paso is like Deming.
Yeah,
think of El
there's
Paso
a
as
lot
like
of people like
yeah.
people will still ask stupid questions like if we
Yeah.
all wear cowboy hats or ride horses.
And you know what? I say yes. I say that we do. You know why? Because the imaginary is more important than the reality. But the imaginary is like Chris Ria, the way he describes Texas, he says, warm winds blowing, heat and blue skies, and a road that goes forever. That's the Texas I live in. Not the weird whatever you think of Texas culturally, but like it's the best version of any place is the place you should inhabit. And El Paso to me is a place that I want my ashes to end up in those mountains. Like I never want to leave this place. I'm the only person of my graduating class who hasn't moved away. And this has been a very long way of saying is that I'm bringing a concert next month. I'm bringing the band Hot Tuna, which is it's a psychedelic folk project. It's the guitarist and bass player from Jefferson Airplane, Jorma Kaukonen and Jack Cassidy. Jorma just turned 83 and Jack just turned 80. And they haven't played in El Paso since 1969, 55 years ago. And I mean, they're a legendary acoustic, like hippie folk duo. And we got them, they're playing, as of right now, they're scheduled to play at Atkinson Recital Hall in NMSU on October 7th at 7 p.m. Tickets are $45. You can buy them at ephardins.org. And this is sort of like the show that's going to get things moving because the way the Hardin's model works is that if you're a local business and you want to sponsor a concert, we're starting at zero effectively. So we've had several sponsors, but our biggest sponsors have been Language Plus, the Language Academy here on Mesa, Hubbard's Music in Las Cruces, and the Sergio Lewis Body Shop. We've also been sponsored by the City Magazine. And I mean, obviously there's more room for sponsors, but generally, the biggest sponsors, you're going to get your name on the radio and TV ads. And eventually, once we have more planning further ahead of time, the logo will also be on the poster. That's how we did it for Wishbone Ash. This was just sort of, the sponsors came on board for this concert after we had already booked it and made the posters. But it's so when you hear on 92.3 The Fox or on 101 Gold, you hear Hot Tuna live in concert presented by Language Plus, Sergio Lewis Body Shop, that sort of thing. The idea is that local businesses will give the organization money. We will use that money to bring concerts because you have to book, as you guys know, you have to pay for things ahead of time. And then you make your money back from ticket sales. And
that's probably too I feel like because my parents were disc jockeys growing up.
Oh really?
Yeah. So
what radio station?
Kiss FM. My mom produced a Post show. She also was a disc jockey in Las Cruces. So they bounce around.
Who's your mom?
Marianne Fellows, which is known as Ricky Reyes.
There we go. I know Ricky Reyes.
No, you don't.
Yeah, back when I was in college. No, I'm familiar. And then there was like going back, you had like Nat Lamp and Cindy Kiss and Big Al.
But back then, we'd have a lot of big names, and then tickets, as in El Paso, were very mañana. They don't sell till the last week
Everyone
or
buys tickets
so,
at the last
day
second,
up.
yeah.
So then these bands freak out, think no one's coming to the south, and then they pull out.
Yeah.
And so then everybody who's bought tickets is screwed.
Right.
That happens a lot.
And you know what? Like, as long as you have a good relationship with like the way you do things, then everything works out. And I hope that I and this organization grows into that. I'm supported by a wonderful board of people. And right now, like I said, we're more looking for sponsors for next year. I mean, obviously, if you want to give us money for Hot Tuna, of course. This is America. You can do whatever you want. But like we have sponsorship tiers on our website. It's ephardins.com, ephardins.org. I am tired today. I've been doing a lot, and I still have 2 more things after this, including baseball practice.
You got this.
But
it's .org.
ephardins.org, and that's where you can get in touch, and if you want to sponsor and all this and that,
And I'm sorry, Vincent, it's HARDIN.
Correct.
Okay.
ephardins.org, and we're planning. We have at least I can't reveal who, but we have 5 concerts planned out for next year.
Wow.
We just can't confirm them because we're still looking for sponsorships and all this and that. And like I said, our goal, we have 60 concerts a year. We want to make a dent in that, and we want to have as many concerts, if not more, than all of those cities I just named, because we deserve it. This is such a unique
100%.
place. Like, this is literally where the streets have no name. Like, the U2 song is like, I want to feel sunlight on my face. I see the dust cloud disappear without a trace. I want to take shelter from the poison rain where the streets have no name. Like, that's here. Like, that's the great American desert. And this is the sort of melting pot of cultures where it's like, We have the mythical Wild West Texas and the cowboy hats and the horses and the blue sky. We have La Cultura and La Fiesta and the color of Mexico. And then we have the land of enchantment. It's all in one place. It's right here. Point being, El Paso is a wonderful place, and we deserve everything. We deserve everything. And Hardin's Music Saloon, our goal is to make that happen through music.
I love it.
And we're going to bring every concert in the world. We're going to. Like, you're not going to stop us. We're not.
Shouldn't have to go to Albuquerque to see Korn.
Dude,
Right.
seriously.
You should not have to go to Buffalo, New York to see Taylor Tomlinson.
Oh,
She's the host. She's the, one
Oh,
of the best,
yeah.
one of the best comedians in the world. She's the host of
I'm still thinking
Midnight.
which Jefferson was she?
Let me ask you really quick. Let's hang on really quick. What was your first concert?
First concert ever?
Yeah.
It was Sun City Music Festival, I think.
When was this?
2012. Like the first
Wow.
one that I ever been to that I bought a ticket.
Is it the one with Crystal Castles? Or was that after that?
No, that was like David Guetta.
First concert ever.
Is that? Are you from here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Where was your first
He's the
concert?
worst. He just goes to emo night to smoke on the patio.
You can do whatever you want. It's America. You can do whatever you want. It's America.
At the drive-in? Who's that?
You can make it till you make it. You're allowed to be a poser. You can do whatever you want, man. We're not going to judge you for anything. This is America. What was your first concert?
I remember my first concert.
What's up? My first concert was a band called Crack Fight in a band in
What?
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Wow. Is that where you're from?
That's where I'm from.
Okay, so you didn't have to travel to go to your first concert.
I did not. I think it was probably recommended to not go. But yeah, I worked in sound and production for years.
What was your first concert?
Pete Seeger in 1965.
Wow.
In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Waist deep in the big muddy.
Yep.
Wow. Is that where you're from?
Yep.
Wow. Okay, so you didn't have to travel for your first concert.
I did not.
What was your first concert?
Bruce Springsteen.
Wow. Where was this?
It was in Los Angeles. I grew up in Southern California.
Wow.
Nice.
That's amazing. Annie, what was your first concert?
Marky Mark and the Funky
Yeah.
Boys.
What?
I wanted to go see New Kids on the Block, but we couldn't get tickets, so my mom got me tickets to Marky Mark.
Where was this?
It was in Las Cruces, honestly.
Oh, wow.
Cruces or El Paso, yeah.
Feel it.
It was local, luckily, yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I think a lot of people, okay, now, Shroud is over. I'm actually 30. I just turned 30 back in July.
No way.
Like a lot of my contemporaries and a lot of people like constantly have to travel for concerts. And like I said that earlier, and it's like, I think that's super important. And like let me go over differently. Who's someone you want to see here in El Paso?
Oh, man.
Anyone?
I want to see Lauren Hill.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
She played in Albuquerque.
I know, and on my birthday, and I didn't go.
Albuquerque
Don't
has
even- don't talk to
1.1
me
million
about that
people,
show.
and we have 2.7.
And no, and she should have been here.
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Anyone? You like any?
I'm not a concert goer.
Okay. Who do you?
Yeah, I'm just not.
No, it's fine.
Just
That's fine.
bands.
Who do you listen to? Who are your favorites?
No pressure. You put her in a corner.
You're good. You don't have to do
Yeah,
like.
no, I probably listen to a lot of. Actually, you know what? I would go see. My son wants to go see Billie Eilish. We're talking about doing that.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing. This kills your vibe on this. He wants to go see her in Tokyo.
Okay, he can do whatever he
Because
wants.
we came to the conclusion that it might be cheaper to fly to Tokyo, stay there, go to the concert than it would be to see her here in the U.S.
Wow.
So you get an experience
Do
out
that.
of it. My goal is
Yeah.
to have the option.
Yeah.
Yes.
Provide like, do
It
you
would
want to
be
see him
great
here
to
or in
have
Tokyo?
that
Yeah.
option to see these things here.
Of course. Well,
Yeah.
who do you want to see, Lori?
Tracy Chapman.
Oh my God, that would be great.
Yeah.
She's like, thank you. That's a good suggestion. I'm gonna reach out to her agents. Who knows?
There you go.
Who do you want to see?
Actually, I was just in Japan, and I really wanted to see a band called Pale Dusk from
Oh, wow.
Japan, and I missed them by one night, so I'd love to get them there.
Put Lauren Hill in there.
Yeah, get them on there.
I might need a few more sponsors. For
What did you
the
hear?
film.
She just canceled her tour. She was supposed to do
With
it
the
tour.
Fugees,
Yeah,
yeah.
and she canceled.
She's like the female Morrissey. Like is she going to perform? Is she?
I don't care. I'll buy the ticket every way,
Of
every
course,
time.
Of course,
Just
as you should. Pale
Bless you.
Pale Dust?
Pale Dusk.
how about Rage Against the Machine? Even right? Like that would have been.
If they get
cool.
back together again, because I know that they're not on speaking terms anymore.
Oh,
Again.
Oasis, they're back.
Oh yes. Isn't that funny? How like Oasis is more realistic goal than to get Rage Against the Machine?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Not for it. Who do you want to see?
Black Keys.
They were here in here on a day off. They were in El Paso on a day off a few weeks
Oh,
ago.
that's right. Yeah, they were at Craft and Social. You give it a shout out. Yeah.
Have you heard of the Black
Wow.
Pistol Fire?
I have. I'm not familiar with the music, but I've heard of them.
My son is good friends with him and just toured with them in
Oh, wow.
New York.
Oh, really?
See in New York.
Well, we gotta get him here. And here's the thing: it's like El Paso is in a weird place culturally because, like, going back to marketing, I think this is a really important thing to talk about. Marketing is like, I personally am really social media averse. Like, I got rid of all my social media, and I had to like create a social media account for this effectively at gunpoint. And I just gave it to a friend of mine. I said, "You run it. Like, I'm not going to do this. I do not want to. I want every excuse to not have my phone on me as possible." I'm a big diversify marketing. It's like flyers, radio ads, TV ads, and social media. Because why is Coca-Cola the best-selling product of all time?
Because they market.
Because they never let you forget that it exists all the time.
That's what I say. So I work at a marketing agency.
Right.
And once Bounty or Mattress Firm
Right.
or Lucky Charms or whoever stop marketing, maybe then I'll decide I need a new career.
The thing, and there's like there's concerts that have come to town that have been poorly marketed. Like Jack White was here 2 years ago. No one went to that concert, and
No, my man.
it was crazy. And I actually like I started printing out flyers myself and just putting them up just because I wanted the show to do well.
Tag me in everything. So you're not on social media. If you tag me in there, I'll let everybody.
Oh, I'll tell all.
Tell them to tag me
I
so
will
I
do
can
that.
let everybody.
So I can be home relaxing, listening to
yeah,
baseball on AM
you did
radio.
tell me that.
But so the thing about what was my point? Oh, the thing about like people like is if you know that it's happening, obviously there's an opportunity that. Do you want to see this?
Yeah.
That 10 years ago, this band played at Tricky Falls called Spoon. I'm sure you're familiar with
I
them.
love them.
Spoon's amazing. You know what's
famous.
funny? That show didn't do well. And it's funny because all of my friends at the time didn't listen to Spoon, and now I know tons of people who are like, "Oh, I'd love to see Spoon." It's like, where were you 10 years ago?
They've been here a handful of times, yeah.
And like that's a concert that, for example, like if you're a conventional promoter, it's like, well, Spoon last time they played here didn't do well. Why would I bring them back? It's like it's a risk. It's I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying like this concert, this band that has a history of not doing well in El Paso, if I bring them back, history shows it won't do well. But there are other metrics to measure how concerts will do.
Yes.
So I think the reason I'm going about this in the nonprofit route is because, or I'm not a nonprofit yet, knock on wood, I'm applying for nonprofit status, is it allows the organization to take more risks. Because you bring a concert that does super well, you use that money to bring an artist that might not do well.
Right.
Well, yeah, I think
Cover
that's
yourself.
You're
an
supposed to
excellent-
break even, right?
Yeah, that's an excellent route to go. I've spent about 6 years overseas. I spent 4 years. I started doing
Military
comedy
or
in
just
Malaysia.
like-
Just
okay.
Yeah, I was in Malaysia for 4 years and then in New Zealand for 2.
Oh,
and I
man.
did comedy in both.
New Zealand.
But one of the big differences I noticed in places like New Zealand, comedy is seen as part of the arts.
Right.
So you can get arts funding for a fringe show. If you
Right.
want to do a show, if you want to get advertising, you can apply for grants. You can get all that. That doesn't really exist in the U.S. for
Right.
comedy.
Right.
We're here to sell drinks.
Right.
Right. And so it gets treated differently.
Right.
And so
And it is a fine art.
I would say so.
Like
I mean,
here's proof that rock and roll, and I mean rock and roll as a spirit, not mean as like a genre of music. Like cumbia is rock and roll, folk music is rock and roll, opera is rock and roll. The idea of doing something that hasn't been done before and saying I'm going to do this is the most rock and roll thing in the world. On the Voyager space probe, which was launched in the 70s, it has that golden record, and every country was asked to contribute like. Every country was asked to contribute 2 pieces of music or 1 or 2 pieces of music. So like Mexico contributed El Cascabel, and like Stravinsky, Russia contributed like Rite of Spring. These fine arts compositions. There was like Ode to Joy is on there, the Magic Flute, Mozart. And America's 2 contributions are Johnny Be Good and Dark Was the Night, Cold Was the Ground by Blind Willie Johnson, which is a blues song.
Yeah.
And like Johnny Be Good is one of the most fundamentally species-changing moments in human history. It was the moment people realized, like, I feel something. It's because it's just like imagine how people felt the first time they heard Johnny Be Good. Like, you can't contain yourself. It's too exciting. Now we're used to that because there's lots of exciting music, but like this is absolutely a fine art. Rock and roll is as much of a fine art as, like, I'm a music teacher. I teach the kids about classical music, and then I say, this is how you play. This is how you can write down the reggaeton beat on classical music notation. It's all the same ingredients. It's all the same stuff.
Yeah.
And we need to treat popular music like a fine art because it is, and it's an economic stimulator because Imagine if someone from
Oh, dude, 100%. Look at Austin, right?
yeah.
Why do we go to Austin?
I've lost like 20 of my friends to Austin. Like they've moved there.
I don't drink anymore because of Austin.
Yeah, I moved
But
out of
we
Austin
come
because
back.
of change.
Right.
Yeah. Dude, it's not even Austin. It's like a Silicon Valley meets Miami vibe.
I worked in music and production for years. That's why I moved to Austin.
Okay.
Right.
You know,
And it's a live music capital of the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then people buy apartments next to it and then complain about the bands. Like,
Right.
It's a really tough loop they've created. But when I got here just over 2 years ago, when I started doing my shows, I based it off what I noticed from a lot of the metal acts, like heavier rock and metal
Right.
acts.
Which is very big here. My God.
It is. They go, but it's the weirdest crowds in the world. El Paso people do not move.
Yeah.
Like, and every band comments on it. They just stand there like cattle.
However-
you go to San Antonio, you get a concussion.
However,
That's how it goes.
when Tyler the Creator played here,
That's different.
I'd say
That's
like
another level.
the times they are changing, as Bob Dylan said.
Yeah.
Hip hop is turning into like that new space where
Oh, it's already there.
Right.
They're going country now. That's the new.
where it's like you really want to be rebellious. Put on that Morgan Wallen album, bro. It's very weird, but you know what? To each their own, man. I like my favorite band is Kings of Leon. Like I Kings of Leon, Pink Floyd, Blue Oyster Cult. Those are my favorite bands. Very odd, but
What was the last one?
Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah.
Don't Fear the Reaper was the big song they had in
Godzilla.
1976. Yes, Godzilla. but yeah, like Tyler the Creator, he played here at Tricky Falls 12 years ago in 2012 with Odd Future.
Yeah.
And then he came back as a solo act. He played at the Don Haskins Center, sold out instantly.
I can imagine, yeah.
Instantly, and it's funny because he like paused and he spoke to the audience and he was like I know this is a smaller venue and this is like you got people think of this place as a small town, but like my God, this is like the most exciting crowd on the tour.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I mean, there's lots of talk about like the amphitheater, which I'm excited about. There's talks about like possibly like retrofitting or like putting the arena in a place where it can be like viable. Like I saw a report a while back that they wanted to that they were like talking obviously the controversy about where the arena should go, and I saw a report that they were modeling the arena based off of an arena in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, why? Because the new arena was supposed to be like 12,000 seats. And I was like, that's the same size as the Don Haskins Center. It's like, why build it then? The idea is like the Don Haskins Center holds 12,000 seats in the round, 9,000 seats if you have a normal concert where it's facing one way. And a concert there will sell out. If you're trying to bring like a big artist, it'll sell out too quick. Like the Foo Fighters, it sold out in 90 seconds.
Oh, wow.
9,000 tickets.
Khalid.
Right.
Yeah.
And then after that, in El Paso, we have the Sun Bowl, 50,000. It's too big. Like you can't bring Post
Need
Malone.
it in between.
Right. So the idea is like Phoenix, like Buffalo, New York, smaller town than us. They have the KeyBank Center, and that is a 20,000 person arena. So you can go from like 12,000 or 9,000 Don Haskins, 15, 20,000 new arena, 50,000 Sun Bowl. So if you're bringing Post Malone, it's like Sun Bowl's too big, Don Haskins Center's too small, move on to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like we should not have more reasons to not have concerts here. That's my only gripe about the arena. You can build it in an opera if you want.
You're totally right. Yeah, because the Civic Center is about.
And they no longer use the Civic Center for events. Like
That's what I heard.
the last time they had a concert there was like Dead Mouse 2016 because it was. I mean, like I'm exaggerating, but like generally the Civic Center in the 70s. When did you move to El Paso?
3 years ago.
Okay, never mind. Well, when I was in high school, they used to have concerts at the Civic Center in the 70s all the time. They had Aerosmith and Nazareth, Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush. The Temptations with the opening act. The opening act for the Temptations was Harry Chapin.
Are you talking about the Abraham Chavez?
No, the actual Judson F. Williams Convention Center
where the
used to
Rhymers
be.
play.
Right, no, the convention center is right behind the Abraham Chavez
that
Theater.
one, yeah,
right.
yeah.
So the actual convention
was
center was used.
the convention center and the Coliseum were the two main venues. The Abraham Chavez Theater wasn't built until 1977.
How many does the Coliseum hold?
7,000.
Oh.
So 7,000, pretty good. John Haskins Center, 9,000, pretty good. Sun Bowl, 50. You need the in between. The Civic Center holds 10,000 people, but it's not equipped for concerts anymore. Because like James Brown played at the Coliseum, Three Dog Night played at the Civic Center, and who else? Like I think the last time they had a major like concert at the Civic Center was Nelly in 2004.
Yeah,
Isn't that weird?
Don't have a modern option for that, do they? Yeah, and that does make sense. I mean, when I just touch back, what I did for my shows, I did all my shows on Wednesday, which is a much harder show day of the week to sell. There's a lot of people don't go out on school nights in this city.
I love a good Tuesday, Wednesday event.
But there is a marketability to
There
it.
is, because we would get acts that are way above our pay grade.
Because they needed the
It's
date.
the in-betweens.
Well, yeah, because they're coming
Filling
through
in time.
anyway. They're like, yeah, I'll take a few $100 and do a show at a bar that's
and
Santa
that's
Claus
our
and Easter.
opportunity.
Exactly, yeah. So I think you have to look. The situation is exactly as you're describing, right? How do you find angles around that? It sounds like that's exactly what you're doing here. I think that's a great angle. It's what we're doing here. It's you want to see something, you have to make it yourself.
And thank you. I always call El Paso the city of endless opportunity because if there's something missing, you get to be the person who creates it.
Absolutely. It's a how do you say, it's like a gold mine opportunity right now. There's so many, things that we want, and people have the opportunity to bring it here if you really want it, right? And then when we do get it here, my thing is just go and support it, right? Because we say we want this, we want that, we want this, but then when it comes, we don't go and support it. So you have to go and support these events.
If you have the internet, can you look up a painting? It's by an artist named Tom Lee, and it's the painting's called Invocation. We all live inside of a Tom Lee painting. We all live inside of this painting right here.
Oh, library card.
And this is the mural that's at the History Museum. It's a 40-foot long Tom Lee. Oh, yeah. I love that painting. If you could zoom in on it, that would be amazing.
It's in Austin, this piece.
It's actually in the basement of the art museum.
In Austin or here?
Here.
We got it back.
In storage, yeah. Because I wish it was on display.
Take that, Austin. This one.
I don't know if you can zoom in on that. I love that painting because...
Wait, what are you looking at?
It looks like a different one.
Is that a piece of this one?
No, it's just a different painting. The reason I wanted to bring this one up, if you can show it to the camera really quick.
You have the one he wanted to see.
Wait. Oh, this is the one.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, so it's not this one.
That's right, it's different. However, the reason I love this painting is because it's a prospector at the foot of the Franklin Mountains, ostensibly, and I always wonder why it was called Invocation, and I realized, he's looking for gold. And he's going to find it. Yeah. It's in that mountain somewhere, and he's determined that the
El Paso gold.
The mountain dwarfs him, but he is going to invoke that gold, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to invoke the gold in this city, and I can't wait to go to both of these things. I can't wait to go to the International Day of Peace, and I can't wait to go to the Chuco Town Comedy Festival. That's going to be super fun. Have you guys put up flyers anywhere? Because this is the first time I've heard about it.
Yeah, we've got flyers at the venues. We've got some kind of right next to yours, actually, down pizza joint.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna have an ad on Fifth Am tonight.
Yes, Fifth Am. Everybody should be advertising. That's a great segment. Okay, so marketing. Everybody should be marketing on Fifth Am. That's everybody's audience. Everybody and their dog follows Fifth Am. Doesn't matter if you're top shelf kind of business or whatever. Everybody is on there.
It's El Paso TMZ.
It is El Paso.
I describe it originally as the El Paso's Jerry Springer, but it has now morphed
into something
that's where I get my news. That's where I get my traffic. That's where I get
sometimes.
all the time.
You see all these things going on. What's going on? You go to Fifth Am.
Yeah, I go to Fifth Am. I like Fifth Am.
I have a Fifth Am story. And I apologize that I've spoken
Everyone's
so
got
much,
a Fifth Am
but
story.
I didn't know that Fit Fam existed until a couple of years ago because I'm like so social media averse that I like, someone the other day called me and said, Vincent, you were on Fit Fam. And I was like, what the heck is Fit Fam? And they were like, yeah, you were dancing at an El Paso Chihuahuas game in the rain. And I was like, how do you know that? And they were like, well, you were on Fit Fam. Because I had a really particularly stressful day, and I went to a Chihuahuas game, and the rain started coming down, and everyone ran away, and I just sat in my seat in the rain, and then I snapped, and I just started dancing in the rain.
I love it.
And
this is the dancing guy.
Yeah, and I mean, and I was just like, you know what? That's a secret, by the way, to being happy is drinking water and listening to Van Morrison and singing in public. Yeah. Like that keeps you forever young. And
I'd like to add something about the concept
Please.
of invocation.
Yes.
And the gold miner is all about cutting into the earth and extracting gold for wealth. The invocation I want to see is us regenerating the land of El Paso, not extracting, not tearing things apart, but allowing the Rio Bosque wetlands to grow
100%.
flourish and not have a highway next to it, to let the Keystone Heritage Park get funded fully so that many people can support that incredible spring where the birds come in the winter.
The wetlands.
That we have 1 million trees that Eco El Paso is trying to plant, that our new invocation is that we really regenerate the earth.
Make it better.
Invokewood is already here. Like we don't people always say like, oh, you want to make El Paso like Austin, and I was like, no, I want to make El Paso more like El Paso.
Right.
I just like
We don't need a name or Austin or Kelly here.
To me, like bringing these again for my personal mission for Hardin's Music Saloon, like for me, bringing these concerts is not making El Paso special. It's bringing it up to standard.
Yes.
Like this shouldn't Hot Tuna's coming? It's like, yes, Hot Tuna's coming. They should come all the time. This is El Paso. It's like when you live in Phoenix, you get to see every band every couple of years because you're like, oh, of course they're gonna come. Like we shouldn't be shocked and surprised when we get good things. We should expect good things because they're here.
And we gotta also make the room for the incredible talent that's here.
Yeah.
That's right.
For the young people who have great solutions to the dust, to the water shortages, to the garbage, and to enroll our young people to help solve the problems that they're facing, not segregate them and have them do meaningless academic paperwork, but enroll them,
hands-on,
harness their genius, harness the genius of everybody that's here, and tell the story of the lives that are here, big, bold, and beautiful. So we don't just have to have people come in, we gotta hear.
Yeah.
We
100%.
have incredible talent here.
And it's unique. It's like going back to, I'm gonna wrap up my sort of like tangent on El Paso, is that like you're familiar with the drive-in. You brought them up.
Yeah, of course.
Like at the drive-in is a band that could only have happened in El Paso because you have an American guitarist from El Paso, you have a Californian singer, you have a Puerto Rican lead guitarist, you have a Mexican bass player, and you have a Lebanese drummer. They all met here in El Paso.
Yeah.
That's like that, and you have like the combinations of all those musical ideas in that one thing. And because of At the Drive-In, because of El Paso's culture that yielded At the Drive-In's music, you have bands like My Chemical Romance and Pierce the Veil and all these bands that were inspired by At the Drive-In. Like the things that At the Drive-In did, and we don't realize it, they're earth-shattering. And it's from El Paso.
It's amazing.
They came from here. They played at Loretto, and they were terrible at first, and then they figured it out. Like, as long as you have a space for something to grow and to encourage something, and that's what I think we are all doing in some capacities. We all have, there's lots of talent, there's lots of enthusiasm and ambition in El Paso, and if it's not watered or provided, you don't provide a space for that kind of thing, accessibility, and then you're going to go find it elsewhere.
Well, I mean, I think it's crazy because you have the largest residential recording studio in the world in Tornillo, Texas. So
Where?
In Tornillo.
About 45 minutes down the road, there's a recording studio
so
called
these
Sonic
bands that
Ranch.
are in town all the time, they just pop in on our local bars and things like that. Most often, they're recording albums and tracks in Sonic Ranch.
Right.
It's called. It's an incredible facility. It's got some world-class instruments. It's got some of the only recording consoles in the world of its kind.
Natalia Lafourcade, Arcade Fire, My Chemical Romance.
Bonnie Bear's last album was there too.
But even that alone,
Yeah.
because of, yes, we have Sonic Ranch, but we also have Star City Studios
I was
and
just
other
about to say,
studios. But there's so much talent just in that realm. Film,
Yeah.
music,
Right.
art, you know what I mean? It's
Great
insane.
film festival. We have
It's
great,
it's beautiful here.
I saw
It really
Maria Muldaur
it's such a
here
treat.
once.
And I have to say, because you mentioned At the Drive-In, that is my favorite show. I don't know how many shows. I'm insane or impossible to even count, but that was the best show I've ever been to in all my life.
Which
and
one?
it was in Austin at Emos at the Drive-In.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
The Emos or the
Emos.
The old one.
Yeah, man. Come on. Yeah. OG, yeah. So, all right. Did we catch everything? Did everybody say we covered it all? There's so much to cover. But
We do have music acts, by the way.
oh, they have music too?
Is it like
No. It's not. The schedule comes out on the 5th, a couple days. But Jamal Streeter, I believe,
Oh, yeah.
one of the days. Jamal's fantastic.
Yeah, he hangs here all the time.
I don't know if we've locked up our other ones, but we definitely.
So you're gonna have some music with the
And
comedy.
It's bookended. We got a proper, fantastic musician. And at the end, we have comedy karaoke. We'll see what happens there.
Oh, let's have fun. I love it.
It is
I love
technically
it.
singing in public.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say that the facilitator for our day is a comedian.
Oh, cool.
Arlen Lutz, who is also a PhD anthropologist. We have this incredible resource of UTEP,
Oh, yeah.
right? That it really informs the depth of thought and creativity here in El Paso. So
they're a PhD of what?
anthropology.
PhD of anthropology / comedian. That's an
Makes a
amazing
lot of
title.
sense, actually. That's yeah.
Arlen.
Yeah.
I love it.
Recheck like a general check of like socials. Like
Let's
general
do it.
ordering.
Where do we find you and the event information?
Do you want to do adapt? Because that's
Yes.
important.
If you want
for
to
people.
find out more about ADAPT, go to adapt.org.
unitythroughcreativity.org events.
ChucoTownComedy.com, MassiveTix.com.
And at Chuco Town Comedy.
Yeah.
And real quick, what are your all's 2 dates?
September 21st.
September 20th and 21st.
All right.
Hot Tuna live in concert, Las Cruces, New Mexico, Atkinson Recital Hall, October 7th. Tickets on sale at ephardins.org, and you can buy tickets at All That Music here in El Paso and at Hubbard's Music and More in Las Cruces, or online at ephardins.org, and that's where you can get in touch with us. The social media accounts, I think it's at EP Hardins. Yeah, it's at EP Hardins is the Instagram account for Hardin's Music Saloon.
Hardin's Music Saloon.
And and don't find me on social media because I'm not there, but you can find Hardin's Music Saloon. So yeah, go see Hot Tuna. It's gonna be great. Might be your last chance.
You never know. No pressure. All right. All right, El Paso. I told you we had some awesome events coming up. You have to get your tickets ASAP, and as always, tell them I sent you. Real quick, I do want to do a quick sponsor shout out. Thank you so much to El Paso Family Dental. If you guys are looking for aligners, if you thought about, is this the right choice for me? Go and talk to the crew over there at El Paso Family Dental, and they can help you out. It was easily painless, awesome experience for me, and I'm so glad I did it. For me, everybody's different. It was 9.5 months, and I have a brand new smile. So I definitely recommend El Paso Family Dental. Also, Viva La Mocha, go check them out in their brand new location off of Cincy area, right next to Paradigm. If you guys need any printing, they can help you out with that. Star City Studios, thank you so much for always allowing me to use the space. Isn't that beautiful? I just love it here.
And a lot of friends who have played and recorded.
Yeah.
Andrea, Gabriel.
It's gorgeous here and so much talent.
Shout out to the Moon Queen, Andrea Rivera.
I love
She's
it.
the best. She's my favorite local singer-songwriter, and she recorded her new album here, I believe.
I love it. It's the Moon Queen. And then El Paso Zoo Society. Make sure to follow all these businesses and tell them I sent you. And please consider, if you guys are interested in joining NAMI Walks, we have created a team. And it's to bring awareness to mental health here in El Paso. NAMI is a wonderful nonprofit organization that provides free classes, programs, and events to our community. Again, they are free $99. I don't know anybody who isn't touched by mental health, whether yourself or your loved ones, your friends, and anybody. This is just an excellent resource to use, whether you need it, you want to help out, whatever it is. And this event, NAMI Walks, is an opportunity to come out and support. So you can join my group, Chuco Love, or you can create your own group to walk with you guys. It's free $99 to sign up. There's no registration fee. If you would like to donate, it's always appreciated. Every cent is going to NAMI to pay for their awesome free classes, programs, and events that they offer the community. So this is going to be happening on October 19th from 8 to 12 at Escada at the Park. If you guys are interested, reach out to me and I'll send you the links. Also, please, we would love for you again to join us at Chuco Love on our team or start your own team. We just want to get out there and support the community. Sorry, I'm like right under this AC and it feels so good, but it's cold. So thank you so much for tuning in this week. Thank you so much for going local. Go buy your tickets ASAP and tell them I sent you. See you next week. Bye, guys.